Hello, welcome to Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, where I discuss the future of this region, humongously blessed. The Niger Delta region, every week we give time to reflecting on topics relevant to the development of the Niger Delta and her people. On this edition, we're doing precisely that as well, focusing on taking this region to a more promising future. And be reminded, the program is sponsored by the operator of the NNPC, SPDC, Total Energies Active Joint Venture, the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, headquartered here in Port Harcourt. Thank you for joining. I'm Adedayo Ilushakin. On today's edition of Canvas on Air, we're discussing the topic, Empowering the Future, how Shell scholarship programs are driving excellence. On this episode, we delve into the transformative impact of Shell scholarship programs and how they are driving excellence in the Niger Delta. Shell has long been committed to fostering education and empowering the next generation of leaders. Through their comprehensive scholarship initiatives, they're not only providing financial support, but also offering mentorship, resources, and opportunities that pave the way for academic and professional success. Join us as we explore an inspiring story from a scholarship recipient, hear about his vision for the future, and discuss the broader implications of investing in education. Stay tuned to discover how Shell's dedication to nurturing talent is shaping a brighter, more innovative future for all. Again, today the topic on Canvas is Empowering the Future, how Shell scholarship programs are driving excellence, and my guest is Edgar Loveday. Edgar Loveday is a recent graduate of Electrical and Electronics Engineering with the first class honors from the Federal University, Otweke. Edgar, hello, welcome to Canvas on Air.
Thank you very much.
Great. It's good to have you here. And I'd like to start. Which of these characters do you think best describes you? Dexter of Dexter's Laboratory, don't know if you know that, or Sheldon of the Big Bang Theory. Which one? If you know any of them.
I think Dexter.
Dexter? Why Dexter instead of Sheldon Cooper?
I think his character suits with mine.
You like blowing things up?
Yes, I like blowing things off, but I remember growing up as a kid, I was very curious. When technicians visited our homes to repair one or two stores, I followed them bumper to bumper, from the plumber to the electrician to the woodwork engineer. I asked them questions. And sometimes when anything develops, any fault, when no one is at home, of course, if my parents are around, they won't let me touch anything. I do some of them by myself. And in the course of doing that, I damage some and I succeed in some.
Okay.
So I think a Dexter character suits with mine.
All right, fantastic. Good to know. By the way, I hope the tech guys have all the wiring secured so we don't blow anything up here. Thank you very much. Edgar, what was your life like as a child? You're giving some insights already, as to how you did with repairmen. But other than that, what was it like for you as a child growing up?
Growing up as a kid, it was a wonderful experience for me. I was privileged to be birthed and raised into a family with loving and supportive parents. My childhood, just like Avelia said, was filled with curiosity, exploration, and adventure. Just like most kids, I was curious, asked questions just to educate my young mind, of which some of them I got answers which were lies. I got to know them when I grew older. Like one particular question I knew I asked them was if snakes had bones. And I was told that snakes don't have bones. And that lie was stayed with me for years. I remember a time among my peers when one conversation led to another and I said snakes doesn't have bones. Everybody laughed at me and I covered my face in shame.
Oh,
But the thing is that just like Aristotle said, the human mind is like an empty slate, tabula rasa. So as I grew older, I got to know that snakes had a special skull with a long spine with different vertebrates and all of that. So I had a dad who also encouraged my curiosity. by giving me books to read, even setting basic arithmetic operations for me to solve. He even gave me newspapers as at I think age 6, and it really sharpened my young mind. But I didn't have much time to explore nature because I had a disciplinarian as a mother. She was always on the watch. You go here, don't do this. And as an obedient child, I had to obey.
Oh, you're one of the few ones. Obedient child, that is.
Yes,
Okay. Now you said you had a dad, past tense. What happened to him?
he's no more.
Sincere sympathies for that.
Thank you.
You described a childhood that it's similar to a lot of other childhoods, and like most children, at a young or early age, they have dreams and ambitions and what they'd like to become in life. What was that for you as a child?
Growing up, I had the ambition to work in the aerospace industry, specifically aeronautics.
Don't say astronaut. Don't say you want to be an astronaut.
Aerospace subdivides into astronautics and aeronautics.
Okay.
But I was fascinated about the whole idea of the designing, the building, and maintaining of aircrafts, which is capable of transporting people and goods from one place to the other. But during the course of my research, when I was about gaining admission to the university, I noticed that the only place I can study it in Nigeria is the northern part. So I told my dad, he said, fine. But our mothers are very emotional when it comes to decisions like that. And she said, not care, my son. Please do, I beg, I beg, I beg. So I just had to uh, choose electrical and electronic engineering, which also aligned with my passion. And I'm very proud to say that I made that decision myself. Nobody influenced me, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities it has granted me, meeting great persons, which have also helped me to aspire to become a better person.
Okay. So studying electronics and electricals hasn't completely derailed you
At
from the
all.
aeronautics space, if you
At
will.
all.
You're still headed in that direction.
At the moment, I'm not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure?
I'm not sure because electronic and electrical engineering is a very interesting field. It is a very interesting field that is even worthy of calling a faculty. There are a lot of areas where you find interesting, be it IT, cyber security. In fact, there is nearly zero establishment where you can't find yourself placed there. It is a very interesting field. Even in the aeronautics, when you talk about avionics, which has to do with aviation electronics, you are still talking about electrical and electronic engineering there.
Okay, so your specialty is still required in aeronautics. Am I right?
My specialty,
Yeah, it's still required in aeronautics.
no.
Oh, but you just mentioned the avionics and all that now, and how that there is no area where you don't have people with your specialty.
Just like I said earlier, I was so fascinated about aeronautics that even at some point I got a school bag which had an airliner on it. That was how interested I was in aeronautics. So I knew a lot of things about it, the avionics and all of those stuff.
Okay, but now you simply broadening your horizon
Yes.
and seeing how things go.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's great. The Shell Scholarship or the Shell University Scholarship. How did you come to learn about that?
The Shell's University Scholarship, I got to know it through a site. I subscribed to their newsletter. I don't know if I can mention the site.
Oh, go ahead.
It was my school gist.
Okay. I mean, it could help some of the young person who's watching right now or
of
listening. Yeah.
Yes. So I received this mail on a very sunny day, and when I checked, it was Shell Scholarship. I quickly got to the requirements, and I saw that I was qualified. The next thing to do was to do the needful, and that was applying, and the rest was history.
Okay. Now, when you applied for it, were you confident that you were going to succeed with your application?
Well, one interesting thing is that while I was applying for scholarship, I only applied for Shell scholarship. I didn't know why. I don't know the reason. Not because I knew someone or anybody there, but I was just optimistic that I think I'm qualified for this. So maybe I will get it, even though I wasn't certain. While others were applying for numerous scholarship programs, I just focused on SPDC and put all in my efforts to make sure I get it. I wasn't lacking in any way. And that was how I did it.
Did you need a scholarship, or was it because people you knew were applying for scholarships, so you figured, why not?
As a child who um, had the feelings for his parents, I wouldn't say that I was facing extreme financial difficulties, but I could feel the burden, the educational burden that my parents were facing, and I felt, why don't I contribute my own? So receiving the scholarship was a huge relief for me, and it gave me this sense of pride, responsibleness that I could actually do something for myself. It really helped me a lot. Although it's not just all about the money, the scholarship also provided me with valuable resources like mentorship, meeting incredible persons like Mr. Timi Chalagba, who was once the university scholarship
I
advisor.
think you're the second person, if not third, who is mentioning him on this podcast.
Yes, I so much admire his work ethics. He's a great person. Even up till I think a couple of months ago, I still communicated with him, and he responded with me fine. He was even the one who made me know that the Shell graduate trainee program was out, which I even applied.
Okay, we'll come to impact in a moment, but so you applied for the Shell University Scholarship Scheme, and what was the waiting period like? There must have been a waiting period between application and you being informed you were successful. What was the waiting period like, and how did you find that you were successful with your application?
I can't remember how the waiting period was like. It's just like a woman who is pregnant. When she gives birth, she forgets the pain she must have gone through during the labor and all of that.
Are you
Uh,
sure? Are you sure they forget? Because mothers like to remind you how they carried us for 9 months
yes,
and what they went through.
they remind us about the stress, but it's not compared to the joy they get seeing you. You know, just like if you introduced me, the dream of every Nigerian parent, if not African parent, is seeing their child doing well in school. And I'm very sure my mom is proud of me. Likewise, my late dad as well. So the waiting period,
But do you remember when you found out you were successful?
when I found out that it was successful, I was very happy.
How? Do you remember exactly the circumstance and how you found out?
I was in an engineering mechanics class when I
You were in school already.
yes.
What level?
Then I was in 200 level.
How long ago was this? Do you remember how many years ago? What year? Do you remember?
That should be 2017, I
Okay,
guess.
all right.
2017.
So, all right, go ahead.
So I was in the engineering mechanics class waiting for a lecturer, and I received the message. And my close friend was seated close to me, and he saw me smiling, and then he asked me, "Guy, how far?" And I said, this Shell scholarship, it was successful. And he said, "Wow, congratulations." And then during those periods, I had to sometimes I missed class, trying to get one or two documents, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
I imagine it was. What challenges did you face before receiving the scholarship, and how did the scholarship help you overcome those challenges?
Just, I just wanted to relieve my parents of the educational burden, the finances. I didn't have much of extreme financial difficulties. It was just my own way of helping out. And getting the scholarship also, I it helped me get textbooks, of course, which is a very necessary tool for you to understand what you are studying, getting gadgets, things that are useful as a student, be it a laptop, even getting phones, as the case may be.
Okay.
It also helped me even in my accommodation sometimes. It had a tremendous impact in my academic journey.
Okay. All right. Great. Now, I have to ask you this. You are a first class student, or you graduated with a first class. Am I right?
Yes.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
I don't know very many persons who graduated from school with a first class. We do here, but of them, when I finished as well, there were a couple, but there's usually a handful in an entire set. And I am, as I perceive others are, generally curious as to what the routine of a first class graduate is like in school. What does it take? What's the routine? What do you do? What does it take to make a first class?
One thing I noticed about first class students, specifically engineering, they X out completely truancy from their dictionary. They endeavor to attend every class, even though they don't know the reason why. They make sure they attend. The reason why I said even know they don't know the reason why, like some university courses like GES courses and all of that, which the class will be very large and sometimes you don't even get to enjoy it. But they make sure that they attend the class because of course no knowledge is a waste. So they just have to be there. That is one routine I knew that first class students don't joke with.
Okay, something tells me you're trying to hold back something. Come on, I can't just be attending every class. I mean, the other students who attended every class, but didn't come out with the first class. Okay, let's do this. What was an average day like for you?
An average day for me was.
Did you even sleep at all?
Yes, I make sure I rest.
Okay, so let's start from when you wake up then. So you wake up, what happens?
When I wake up, before going to bed, I always have my day planned out. You know, if I have lectures in the morning, I look at the time I will wake up and then prepare for lectures. If I don't, I rest. I don't stress myself so much. But the thing is that I don't have a regular routine. I could be in the class waiting for a lecturer. I might be studying in my own little way, be it reading ebook or going through previous lectures, as the case may be, you know. And I don't even have a notebook. I just have one notebook for all the courses, which most of my course mates question my reason for that. But there's a history concerning that. There was a time my note got stolen. So I just had to use one book. And then I'll see how you get to understand what I've been writing all this while. I didn't have a regular routine, but it worked for me. This particular question had been asked many times. I can't give a straight answer.
Okay, so nobody could borrow your notebook then to make copies or whatever.
No.
Aha. Okay. Um, you mentioned study. You said something about when if a lecturer wasn't around or available, for example, you study
Yes.
in your own way.
Yes.
How many hours a day did you have to study?
I spread them across the day. In the morning, it could be an hour. In the afternoon, any way at all. But I try to make sure that I
But
study.
cumulatively, on the average, how many hours a day?
Let me just say 5 hours.
Every day,
5 hours.
including
Because
weekends.
for weekends, it could be more. Because I kind of describe myself as a lazy, hardworking student.
Okay, you need to explain that.
Yeah, lazy, hardworking student because when I see some other students who go to TDV,
What's TDB?
That is till daybreak.
Okay.
They go to read, study. I'll be in my house sleeping. And then I'll just look, Loveday, you're on serious. Oh. But the thing is that whatever assignment or task that is given to me, I make sure I deliver. Even if it means a day before, I make sure I delivered.
All right. That sounds all. Were you popular in school? Because I've heard, that certain students who perform excellently, and I've been in that space, of course, as well. May not be very popular. Don't even have time for social activities. It's all books and maybe for those who have faith, religion or religious activities, and back home, this is it's like a triangle for some. It's a school, church, or fellowship, as it's called sometimes on campus. School, fellowship, hostel, or whatever it is. So, were you popular in school, in your department, or on campus? Did you have time for social stuff?
During my freshman year, I wasn't popular. What made me popular was when I became a class representative. And before then, that was in our 300 level. Before then, there was these countless meetings. We want you to be our class rep. I was just like, I don't want to. Even at some point, I was nominated to be the departmental president. I declined just because I don't want to be popular. By the end of the day, the class representative position gave me a bit of popularity because even those who didn't know me because of maybe one political SOG position or the other will have to call me, telling me their plans on how they want to become maybe a president, as the case may be. I wasn't that popular, but the class representative position changed that a little.
I find it a bit hard to maybe totally believe you, and here's the reason. Of course, freshman year or year one, as it's also called in this part, everybody doesn't know anybody, really. But by the end of first year, second year, when CGPAs come out, when CGPAs come out, because the first semester GP, nobody really cares about it very, but when CGPA commences from end of second semester, first year, and then everybody's checking it. So what's your CGPA? And then it's there. Everybody can see everybody's own, And then we see who is this one on the first class? I mean, come on. At that point, people become curious. Who is this guy? Even those who didn't know you physically or personally, directly, and saw your name, must have started asking, who is Loveday Edgar? Who is that guy, Loveday Edgar? That didn't happen?
Well, talking about that reaction, I got that when in our 200 level. There was this day I was in my house, and then in our faculty platform, I saw like my first name was spelled wrongly. Then Loveday, your attention is needed at the dean's office. I said probably someone who is bearing the same surname like mine. After stepping out of the house, I received a call from our faculty representative, and he said, Loveday, your attention is needed at the dean's office. And I said, what did I do? That my attention, because I didn't get any detail at all. So when I got to the dean's office, of course, I know that I'm not found wanting in any way or the other. So when I got there, I saw the dean seated with some other lecturers and even some students. So when I got there, the faces on some of the students that were there were like, this one too is on first class. That was the kind of reaction. They didn't say it, but it was written all over their faces. That was the kind of reaction I get. Then I was picked to be a member of the Shell Echo Marathon team, FU.
Okay.
Then was in 2018. And we were picked based on our CGPA. And after that meeting, that was how I became popular in our faculty.
So you were popular?
A little bit.
Well, you mentioned the Shell Echo Marathon.
Yes.
How did that go, by the way?
The Shell Logo Marathon is a competition organized by Shell in various regions of the world in Asia, Europe, South America, even in Africa. The one of Africa holds in South Africa.
Okay.
And my school were among the very few schools that participated that year. But we had few challenges, you know, getting to South Africa, and then the xenophobic issue broke out, and that was how we didn't get to go.
Oh man, that's sad. I imagine that could have led to a lot of other opportunities and
Yes.
experiences. But okay, well, now, how about the girls? Come on, man. You were first class. You were in the first class, and by tournament level, if not everyone, almost everyone in the faculty must have known who Edgar Loveday was, or at least heard your name because you're in the first class. So, how popular were you with the honeys?
I was focused.
But they must have known you, and
Yes.
and they did they come around you? Were they around?
Yeah, they came around, but I was focused. I was focused.
Okay, that's all you would say for now. You were
Yes.
focused.
Yes, I was focused.
Okay, all right, we'll leave it at that. You were focused. It is Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, brought to you by SPDC, and we're discussing Shell empowering the future, the impact of Shell's scholarship programs, university scholarships specifically. My guest is Edgar Loveday, a Shell scholar, first class graduate. We'll go for a break now. When we return, the conversation will continue. Do please stay with us.
Our yellow and black markers indicate pipeline and flow line right-of-way boundaries. Your activity could impact on the buried high-pressure hydrocarbon pipelines and flow lines, leading to possible leaks and explosion. Please keep off. Do not engage in sand mining or any form of excavation, pipeline vandalism, oil theft, and bush burning within pipeline and flow line right-of-way. Do not farm, trade, or locate any business on pipeline and flow line right-of-way. It is against the law to apportion land, sell, or build on pipeline and flow line right-of-way. Maintain a setback distance of at least 30 meters or about 100 feet from the right-of-way boundaries always. We care for your safety and that of the environment.
This message is brought to you by the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, SPDC, operator of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, Total Energies, and Ajib Joint Venture.
Welcome back. Still Canvas and Niger Delta Roundtable brought to you by SPDC. I'm Dio. And on this edition, once again, we're considering empowering the future, how Shell scholarship programs is helping to drive excellence. My guest is Edgar Loveday, a first-class graduate of electrical electronics engineering from Federal University of Turkey. Edgar, you're welcome again.
Thank you.
Great. And we've talked about several things in the course of our conversation. You've touched on what I'm about to ask you as well, somewhat. But if you could, expand in some detail, can you share your journey and how Shell Scholarship has impacted your academic and even beyond that, your personal life also?
Okay, the Shell's University Scholarship has impacted in my academic and personal life tremendously. In my academic life, it was more of a morale booster. The scholarship was like an eye, or better still, a CCTV watching over me. Because sometimes yes, people get tired. There is this urge to give up, maybe due to frustration or the other. I remember a particular time when we went to the Dean of Student Affairs office to get our results signed. There was this particular young lady who also happened to be a beneficiary of the Shell scholarship. And she was like, they should do and give us our annual stipend before they release results. She's not sure if she can receive the next one because she thinks her CGPA might have dropped. That was a wake-up call in my heart, You don't have to be in that category. You just need to make sure you maintain your grade. So in my academic life, it had a tremendous positive impact. It was always encouraging me to strive for improvement and never settle for mediocrity. And in my personal life, the Shell Scholarship made me understand that excellence should not just be a goal, but should be a lifestyle. And that has continually ring the bell in my ear. I remember 2018 when we were fixing our FU001 prototype vehicle in preparation for Shell Education Day that held here in Port Harcourt. I received a call from, I think, I can't remember the name. Adeniran, yes. Adeniran. He called and asked that, am I Edgar Loveday, confirming who I was and all of that? And I said yes. That he got to know that I will need to be having a 3 months IT period. That would I forgo that of the 3 months and then accept that of 6 months? You get? So the Shell Scholarship paved way for me and reminded me that excellence shouldn't just be a goal, but it should be part of you in everything that you do. That was how the Shell University Scholarship has impacted in my life.
Is that the reason when the honeys were coming around, you stayed focused?
I just had to stay focused because the goal is to come out with good grades, not the one that when you come out, when they ask you, are you a graduate? You say yes. What did you come out with? Then you start turning your paper down because you are not proud of what you came out with.
Yeah, but did the ladies distract from getting good grades?
It depends on the attention you give to them. I didn't give them much attention.
Okay.
Not that I completely chased them away, but I didn't give much attention to ladies. I was focused.
Now, you mentioned a co-scholarship recipient who was in your school at the time. Same faculty, I guess?
No, not same
Oh,
faculty.
not same faculty,
Yes.
okay. And that encounter suggests that your scholarship from Shell had certain requirements, even after you had qualified it, to maintain that scholarship.
Yes,
What
yes.
were these requirements?
There was a certain CGPA that you need to maintain in the course of receiving the scholarship, which was about a 2.5.
Okay.
Yes, it was 2.5. Mine was far from that, but still,
Of course.
anything can happen. So I just had to make sure that I protected it with all human efforts.
Did that lady lose her scholarship? Do you know?
Yeah, we didn't have a connection, so we just met that day, and after then we didn't get to meet again.
All right. Now, you mentioned at the start, in the earlier part of our conversation, how as a child you had dreams and aspirations. You wanted to go into aeronautics and all that, even though those dreams and goals have been broadened somewhat now. But how has the Shell Scholarship influenced your future goals and aspirations?
Well, it has influenced me in a very good way because it has been a catalyst for growth. You know, it has made me to always look out for excellence in whatever I do. Anywhere I find myself, I should pursue excellence. Just like I said earlier, it shouldn't just be a goal, but a lifestyle. That is how it has influenced my goals and aspirations.
No, I know you talked about how, yes, once again, you were fascinated by aeronautics. It was primarily and mostly, or if not entirely, about that. But those dreams and goals are broadened now. But still, when you think about the future now, is there a clear-cut plan? Or, yes, I suppose there is a plan, but is there a clear-cut end? Is there something you're working towards, or is this still open-ended for now?
I don't have a clear-cut plan because at the moment I'm open to be it internships or scholarship. I'm down for it. Whatever comes first.
What I mean specifically is, is there something you want to do at the end of all of this? Even though learning never ends, literally, we keep learning.
Sure.
But is there an end goal to this? Is there? What do you want to do in the future or the foreseeable future? If you're not fixing planes or whatever, or maybe it's still back to fixing planes or building planes. Is it that, or is this something else entirely?
I want to practice my discipline. I want to practice it. Just having a strong foundation, a strong theoretical foundation is not just it. But I also want to have a field experience about it.
All right. Now, from your experience or from your perspective, how do scholarships like Shell's contribute to the overall improvement of educational standards and opportunities?
It does a lot. It does a lot because just like I told you, at that time when I received that call from Adeniran for my internship, assuming if I had accepted it then, because of course the 6 months period, of course everybody said that I'm a smart guy for looking for the long term so that I can have a lot of time to learn. So of course the pandemic shattered that plan. So if I had accepted that offer for the 3-month internship, I must have been chanced to interact with sound professionals, which of course might have impacted a lot in my career life, not just my academic journey, because having interaction with sound professionals who are well grounded in their field, that would have been like an addition to what I've already known. Is a lot of improvement. Having experience in class, having experience in field, it's a huge plus. And of course, giving hope to students who might have been facing challenges as well. It has really helped improve the standard of education in the Niger Delta region.
Let's go back to that internship opportunity that an Adeniran called you about. So initially you had a 3-month internship, am I right?
Yes.
Was that standard? You had to go for a 3-month internship.
Yes.
Was that part of the program in school?
Yes, it is.
So he reached out to you and made you an offer. What was the offer again?
He said if I would accept the 3-month internship program or I would wait for my 6-month internship, which is during my 400 level.
Okay, were you to carry out this internship with Shell?
If I were to carry out the internship
With Shell?
for the 3 months,
Yes.
I didn't make any application. Actually,
Okay.
I just received the call.
Okay.
Even that of the 6 months, later on it was a teammate that reached out to me
Okay.
and then told me about it, gave me the necessary guidelines, which I followed duly. But because of the pandemic, when the time came and I reached out to him, Mr. Timmy, how about the discussion we had earlier concerning internship? And he said, oh, so sorry about that. Because of the pandemic, most of the operators are working remotely. And that was how the plan got shattered.
Oh my. But you did carry out your 3-month internship.
Yes, I did.
But you did that elsewhere, not with Shell.
Yes, I did it also.
But if you had accepted that would have been, if you had opted for the 3-month option, you would have done that with Shell.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I was playing smart.
Well, I mean, nobody saw the pandemic coming,
Yes,
I guess.
yes.
I mean, it did impact a lot of us.
Of course, it taught me the lesson that when the opportunity comes, grab it. And then just face the future anyway.
Just take it now.
Yes.
Take what you see now.
Yes.
I'm sure that's a lesson that I imagine will stay with you for a long time.
Yeah.
But do you ever think that maybe you didn't make the wrong choice, really? Maybe life just happens? What do you think?
I won't be too hard on myself. Any person that I told that said that it was a reasonable call I made. Picking the 6 months, because that is actually a very long time where you can get to learn a lot. And then even for that 3-month period, then I did it in our school workshop, like I told you, when the call came in, we were fixing a prototype vehicle. So, okay, I'm already engaged at that moment. So I think the 6 months will be a better option.
All right. How about your family, your mom, and other persons, who may constitute family, who have known you from the very beginning or through your life? How do they feel about your successes so far?
They are thrilled about it. They are excited. My mom especially, because she's one person who has been with me, felt my pain, giving calling me to encourage me not to give up. I should keep on putting my best, no matter circumstance I might face. Especially even when I lost my dad during the course of my program, she encouraged me a lot, and I was surprised my academic performance didn't suffer that session. It was great.
Okay, now I'm getting some clarity here with when your dad passed away. Once again, my empathies. But he passed away while you were in school,
Yes.
second year or when?
No, that was in my fourth year.
In your fourth year.
Yes.
Um, did that have any impact on you at all? And how did it, if it did?
Of course it did. We have a good relationship, a good father and son relationship. I felt it. But I just have to remind myself that even though he is no more, there is something you just still need to do. Because he passed on, you say that you can't, you didn't, you underperformed. Come on, if he was to be still alive, is that a good reason to give? I just had to encourage myself during my quiet times. I encourage myself not to underperform.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I listened to myself.
But he must have known. I mean, your program was how many years?
5 years.
5 years. He passed away.
But it got to almost 7 years.
Of course, go the usual Nigerian shenanigans.
Yes.
Okay. Well, at least at your fourth year, I mean, it must have been obvious that you were on the path to a first class ready, and I'm sure I imagine your dad knew that and must have been very proud of you.
Funny enough, my dad was, should I say, carefree. He trusted me to do the needful. He has never even asked me, where is your result? Right from primary, secondary school, I'll be the one to show him that this is my result. And even like in secondary school, when I show him, he'll say, Mas, okay, you need to put on more effort in your mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology. It's okay. He doesn't care about position. But when it came to university, he didn't even bother asking me. He just believed that my boy is making me proud.
He just knew that you had it locked down.
I can't say, but he trusted my capability.
No, he knew you had it locked down. I mean, really. But it's all good. I'm sure he's proud of you still.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to students aspiring to apply for such and possibly get such opportunities as you were afforded, referring to the Shell Scholarship?
Pardon me, I don't know if you don't mind me asking you, do you know the slogan for Nike?
Oh, yes, I do.
Just do it. There's the advice I have for them. Just do it.
And for those who are thinking, oh, it would be nice to make a first class as well, what do you have to say to them?
Yes, it would be nice to be a first class student. Then all I just have to say, just have the foundation, have the basic foundation of whatever discipline you are applying for, because it is on those foundation that every other knowledge will be built upon. So once you have that foundation solid, I think the sky is not just your limit, but a stepping stone.
When you say foundation from where? Foundation from when I get into school or before I get into the university?
Okay, let me narrow it down to engineering. Okay, as an engineering student, you can't tell me that you want to study engineering and then you won't be interested in learning mathematics, or whenever you hear that we have engineering mathematics, you will just be like, oh, not again.
Your world comes to an end.
Yes, you just need to have that interest.
When you hear the Y, the X,
Yes.
you develop malaria.
You don't need to develop malaria. You just need to have that interest. Yes. So that is the foundation I'm talking about, knowing the basics. Because it's upon those basics, every other thing will be added upon.
All right. And you've talked about how Shell has had incredible impact on you in your academic life, your personal life. You mentioned a while ago, causing you to determine that excellence is not just a goal, but excellence is a way of life.
Yes.
And that's what it has been for you.
Yes.
So do you have anything you want to say to Shell for the impact Shell has had on you?
I want to say a big thank you to Shell. It's not that I'm the best. Definitely there must be a number of students who must have applied, but they found me worthy of giving me the scholarship. And I say a very big thank you. And the opportunities which they've created for me, providing valuable resources. Just like I said, I'm meeting persons like Timmy, whom though we haven't met physically, but the conversations we had, kind of like always want me to be better. And of course, also now currently still giving me the opportunity to have converse with the very famous Adedayo Olusegun. So thank you, Shell, and keep supporting the Niger Delta.
And now to wrap on this edition of Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, brought to you by SPDC, we have discussed empowering the future, Shell's scholarship programs driving excellence. And I believe that my guest on this edition, Edgar Loveday, a first-class graduate of Electrical Electronics Engineering from Federal University of Turkey, is very much primed to shape our future and drive excellence in the Niger Delta, in Nigeria and the world beyond. Edgar, thanks for your time and wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching as well. I'm Adedayo Olusegun. Watch the podcast across the various platforms and catch you the next edition. Bye.